On a sunny August morning on a picturesque Spanish island, an extraordinary event defied everything people expected to see during a quiet morning mass, transforming a moment of peaceful devotion into a profound mystery about faith and human despair that still echoes in the hearts of those who witnessed it. What could drive a man, seized by an incomprehensible force, to burst into a sacred sanctuary and, in an act that would shock anyone, place a defenseless child on the main altar? Before we delve into the intriguing details, if you have someone in mind who desperately needs prayer, a family member, a friend, or a grieving heart, please write their name in the comments below, and we will include each of them in our special rosary prayer for everyone here on this channel. On that clear Sunday, with the scent of the sea in the air, the faithful gathered in the parish, as they had for decades. The sun streamed through the colorful windows, painting the church's interior with hues of divine light, while the soft melody of hymns filled the space, bringing a sense of peace and communion. Families sat side by side, grandparents held their grandchildren's hands, young couples exchanged complicit glances, all there to share a moment of spirituality and reflection. It was the beauty of routine, the power of ritual that connected generations, and no one imagined that that day would witness something that would shatter the monotony so spectacularly, planting a seed of questioning about the true callings of the spirit and the deep yearnings of the human heart, hidden behind life's tranquil appearances. The priest, with his calm and serene voice, was reciting the words of the gospel when a sudden crash from the entrance shattered the reverent silence. A murmur of surprise and unease spread like an icy wind through the aisles of the church. All eyes turned, trying to decipher the source of the sound. Suddenly, the main door was flung open, and the silhouette of a man emerged, running haphazardly toward the altar. His figure seemed shaky, his steps frantic, and the tension became almost palpable in the air, transforming the stillness into agonizing anticipation, as if a silent, urgent drama were about to unfold before the eyes of all present, tearing them from their devotion to a completely unexpected event. In the man's arms, cradled precariously on his shoulder, a small child seemed to float at the mercy of the speed and agitation of his driver. The man's features were distorted, his eyes bulging, a mixture of terror, desperation, and a kind of fierce determination driving him. He ran as if fleeing from something invisible or seeking supreme refuge, and with each quickened step, the heartbeat in the church increased, watching the unbridled scene approach the most sacred spot in the sanctuary. It was an image that seemed to have been taken from a vivid dream or a never-ending film, where the urgency of the situation overrode any sense of order and protocol, leaving everyone in a state of shock and apprehension about what would come next. Without hesitation, in a swift, almost convulsive movement, the man reached the main altar. There, right in the center, rested the venerated statue of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, a symbol of protection and consolation for the community. It was there that he, with a gesture laden with symbolism not yet understood, delicately, yet with the swiftness of one acting on pure instinct, placed the small child upon the statue, as if offering or delivering her to the Virgin's maternal arms. A profound shock ran through the pews, and an absolute icy silence filled the room. It was an act that blended sacrilege and supplication, madness and a desperate cry of faith, leaving all the faithful stunned, trying to decipher the true meaning behind such audacity in such a sacred and devout place. The instant after that enigmatic act, the man stopped abruptly, as if an internal spring had given way. His frantic movements gave way to a sudden stillness, and he knelt deeply before the altar. He raised his hands in a gesture of supplication, making the sign of the cross with palpable intensity, and whispered inaudible words that seemed to be a mixture of prayer and a plea for forgiveness. His face, previously contorted with despair, now conveyed a strange combination of exhaustion and relief, as if a great battle had been fought within him and had finally reached an armistice, or a desperate plea for peace for his troubled soul before God. The congregation, initially shocked, began to stir, with a few braver worshippers approaching cautiously. There was no widespread panic. Instead, a wave of humanity swept over those present. The women rushed to welcome the child, gently removing him from the statue, their faces showing concern and unmistakable compassion. The men gathered around the disoriented man, not with anger or immediate judgment, but with curiosity tempered by an innate need to help, restraining him and trying to understand what was happening. There was a commitment to preventing him from leaving without assistance, not to punish him, but to offer some kind of care or reassurance. The church, once the scene of a shocking act, became a sanctuary of protection and solidarity, demonstrating the strength and beauty of community, even in the most unexpected and disturbing moments. The motives behind his behavior still remained shrouded in mystery, a riddle kept secret by the lips of time. Was he overcome by delirium, seeking a final and sacred refuge for his precious cargo? Was it an extreme act of faith, where, in the absence of all other earthly hopes, he entrusted the future of an innocent to the highest heaven, symbolized by the Divine Mother on the altar? Perhaps, in his troubled mind or in a moment of abysmal despair, that sanctuary was the only place where he felt the child would be truly safe, protected by a force greater than all. The incident left all who witnessed it deeply reflecting on the limits of the human mind and how faith, in its most crucial and sometimes illogical moments, can manifest itself in acts that defy our most basic understanding, reminding us that the divine often reveals itself in the most unexpected forms and in the most desperate pleas. Just like this man, who at the height of his despair ran to the sacred, how many of us face daily challenges that seem insurmountable, where life pushes us to the limits of faith and resilience? The pressures of work, illness, family disagreements, the lack of forgiveness in our hearts, or the simple search for peace and a greater purpose, call us to constant prayer, to a daily connection with the divine. Our lives are a field where living sermons unfold at every moment, and it is our responsibility to welcome, forgive, seek inner peace, and pray for more conversions, for more hearts touched by faith. Remember, prayer is not just for moments of crisis, but the fuel for each day of our journey, strengthening our faith and our capacity to love. And if you know someone who needs this strength, the peace of a forgiven heart, a new conversion, or renewed faith, leave their name in the comments right now, and they will be added to our main prayer with the rosary that we will dedicate to everyone's intercession. What feelings and reflections did this story evoke in you? What lessons can we draw from this curious and humanly enigmatic event? Share your thoughts and interpretations about faith, despair, and divine protection that you saw here. If this narrative touched your heart, don't forget to like the video so we can reach more people with messages of hope and reflection. And to continue receiving inspiring stories and events that challenge our understanding of the sacred, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. May faith and hope always guide us.